Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Live Lectures. Dear friends, this is our another session on career counseling called Pratibha Sambardhan, and today we are going to discuss on one of the another interesting topics related to the careers, and I believe that you are going to gather at most information, and this career option of course is going to lure you. Why I'm saying lure you? Because it involves a lot of public dealing, I would say. Now you must be wondering about what career option I'm talking about. Dear friends, we are going to talk on careers in alternate healing, and for the discussion on the topic we have with us in our studios Ms.Mehr Lungani. She is a counseling psychologist, hypnotherapist and a tarot card reader. So let's welcome our guest Ms.Mehr Lungani, and let's try to understand what actually alternate healing is. Hello Ms.Mehr, welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, Girika.
So careers in alternate healing. First of all, this sounds to be very interesting, and I'm more curious to know, first of all, what is alternate healing is?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. So healing, when we talk about, that's just a lot about going to a doctor and taking care of ourselves. We have any kind of pain, we will go to the correct doctor and get that healed. Alternate healing is something that complements or replaces your regular treatments, medical treatments, and it focuses more on holistic well-being, right? So you're not just thinking about your body कि body में कोई problem है तो हम वो treatment कराने जा रहे हैं. We're also thinking about our mind, about our spirit. So there's a very spiritual aspect also related to alternate healing. So any of the methods that we use along with medical methods, along with taking regular medication for your headache, that is called alternate healing. Yeah.
And we have this general tendency that we always try to find solutions to the problem.
Right.
And when we are not able to find solutions from a particular person or the resource person, then we try to find out different ways, different roads, different people, so that the problem is solved.
Right.
Now, when I'm talking about different roads, different people, so do we have different types of alternative healing available, and what are those?
Absolutely. So there are lots of alternate healing types depending on the kind of work that is done. So the most obvious and the most common ones, if you've heard, are your mind-body therapies. So this is where hypnotherapy comes in, this is where yoga comes in, this is where meditation comes in, right? When you're जो भी आपके mind और body के साथ में काम करता है. So when you're doing yoga also, you're focusing on your body, but you're also focusing on calming your mind down. You're using breath work. So these are mind-body therapies. Then we also have energy-based healing. ये थोड़े unconventional होते हैं, like Reiki, like chakra, like pranic healing, which are more focused on what is the energy coming out of your mind and body and how to balance that out. Then psychic and intuitive types of practices also exist. These are your common ones: astrology, tarot card reading, angel therapy, where you're connecting with a higher being, where you're connecting directly with the universe. It requires psychic abilities to see, to predict. Those are also then alternate healing practices. We have those traditional healing practices also: Ayurveda, homeopathy, naturopathy. These are also different from your conventional medical treatments. They aid your medical treatments. That's why they're called alternate healings. And then we also talked about expressive arts therapy, which is using art or dance or sound or drama also for healing. So there is a variety of different types of healing that is available now to the general public. We don't just have to focus on going to a doctor. In fact, if you go to a doctor also, right, they will prescribe you medication for whatever you are feeling, but they will also talk about, eat well, exercise well, sleep well. So that is also alternate healing. सिर्फ दवाई से काम नहीं होता है आजकल. We need other support systems in life, and that's where alternate healing comes in.
So these are the different types which are very prevalent these days, and these types of alternate healing, of course, making difference in our lives, because it's making difference in our lives, and we too want to make difference in somebody's life, so we can opt any of the options as explained by you. So can you tell us about these various options in detail? What is their scope, how one can study these courses, and how one can make their way through?
Absolutely. So myself, like you said in the introduction also, I'm a hypnotherapist and a tarot reader. So those are two things that I can talk about in a lot of detail. Tarot as an alternate healing is an intuitive and symbolic tool. So it uses a lot of self-awareness, it uses a lot of insight, and it creates space for you to find guidance that you're looking for. Like sometimes when you said conventional treatments don't work, we're looking for extra, and tarot can give you that extra. It can give you that perspective that you're looking for. It provides so much clarity. When you look at the cards, when you get a reading done, your tarot reader can tell you so many things that are happening behind the scenes. So that it can help you with. It can help you with processing emotions. Sometimes हम ही नहीं identify कर पाते कि हमें किसी चीज़ का बुरा लग रहा है, but हमारे सामने जब वो आती है, then we can start that processing work. So emotional processing, a lot of mental health related work can also happen via tarot. Knowing more about yourself, where you are at and how you're feeling, that is also there. So I personally, because I'm also a psychologist, I use tarot and psychology together with my clients sometimes. We use a lot of it to just gain perspective. कभी कभी आप आते हो, आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा, कुछ गड़बड़ है, क्या गड़बड़ है हमें पता नहीं, और आप जितनी मर्जी बात कर लो उस बारे में, आपको कभी कभी नहीं रियलाइज होता है. And so using these additional tools can help us identify, right? And help you, if you can make decisions better, if you can really understand your emotions better, then why not? And the scope also day by day is increasing, because you will see like a lot of tarot readers come up now these days. I'm sure like even news channels, you find tarot readers coming in and giving in advice. वो थोड़ा predictive काम करते हैं, वो आपको बताते हैं ये अच्छा है आपके लिए, अच्छा नहीं है आपके लिए, but वो सिर्फ उससे limited नहीं है. आप tarot सिर्फ clarity और perspective के लिए भी use कर सकते हो.
And it also helps one to have one-to-one speaking, one-to-one dealing. Sometimes your stress level is so high and you need someone to whom you can, you can explain your things. You need someone who can listen to you. So there the tarot card reader, the tarot person can definitely help that person. Yeah. So as you said, it is an aid. Yes, it is a very good aid, because in some way or the other, you're able to read the psychology of the person who is suffering from any or anything.
And that's important, right? Because healing, any kind of healing has to happen in relation with someone. You need someone to listen to what you're saying. You need someone to hear what you're experiencing. And whether it's your tarot card reader, whether it's your doctor, whether it's your psychologist, whether it's your parents, वो space जैसे ही create होती है जहाँ आप अपने दिल की बात कर सकते हो, वो automatically थोड़ा सा space create हो जाता है to start the healing process.
And sometimes it is also seen that problem इतनी बड़ी नहीं होती, because of our psychological issue we make the things the bigger and the biggest.
Right.
और ऐसे में अगर सही व्यक्ति हमें मिल जाए and the person calms us, that is the win-win situation for both the persons.
Yes. वही एक perspective की बात होती है. हम जब तक अपने दिमाग में रखते हैं तब तक हमें लगता है it's like the biggest thing in the world. But the minute you see it in front of you in the cards, you realize, okay, maybe it's not that big a deal, or maybe there is a better way to look at it which you're missing out on.
Very true. So the tarot card reader plays a very important role. So we would be taking your suggestions after this session is finished off. Now what else apart from the tarot card reading
apart from tarot, there's hypnotherapy. I also do practice as a hypnotherapist. Now hypnotherapy, as the name suggests, requires hypnosis. It's putting you in a trance state so that you can work directly with the subconscious. अब बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी होती है जो हमें कॉन्शियसली रियलाइज़ नहीं होती, बट हमारे दिमाग के अंदर दबी होती हैं फॉर वट एवर रीज़न. हम जनरली पुश अवे कर देते हैं इफ़ यू कांट डील विद इट. What hypnotherapy does is directly work with that. So you're put in a trance state, you're put in a hypnotic state, and there we deal with the anxiety, the stress, whatever is coming up for you. I know I'm sure you've seen hypnosis in a lot of movies. Movies में दिखाते हैं completely ऐसे hypnotize कर देते हैं और आपसे कुछ भी करवा लेते हैं. That's not how it works. ऐसा नहीं होता है. आप completely aware होते हो कि आप कहाँ हो. हम बस hypnosis के through आपका attention, आपका focus किसी और चीज़ की तरफ direct कर देते हैं, which is inside your own brain, inside your own body. So you're then able to work with it. And प्रोसेस बहुत ही सिंपल होता है. वी यूज़ अ लॉट ऑफ रिलैक्सेशन, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन टेक्निक्स. बॉडी को और माइंड को जितना रिलैक्स करता है उतना ईजी होता है टू गेट इन टू द हेड एंड वर्क विद दैट. एंड अगेन यूज एज कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री थेरेपी. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको किसी से बात करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आपको साइकोलॉजिस्ट की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ऑफकोर्स वो सब जो दिमाग में आता है व्हेन आफ्टर अ hypnotherapy session, you need to process that, you need to understand that, and that is why it is considered an alternate healing. So it's complementary in that way.
So one important question over here, when you have explained hypnotic therapy so well, that how does it works. Now, can this therapy be used for the criminology department or the forensic science department, where we deal with different kinds of person, those maybe who have committed crime, and in investing certain situations, can it be used there too?
Absolutely. Hypnotherapy is a form of therapy, right? It can be used with anybody. Anybody experiencing any kind of stress or fears or addictions. That's why hypnotherapy has shown the most work. But in a criminal space as well, to understand the client, to understand and how to work with those criminals, what will really help them. That is also where hypnotherapy can come in. As long as when we are doing alternate healing, एक चीज़ जो बहुत important होती है वो है client consent. जब तक आपको client हाँ बोल रहा है कि I'm okay with what you are doing, तब तक उनके लिए वो effective है. अगर आप किसी के against या against their wishes करोगे, then nothing will work. And so that is just important. But yes, it can definitely. I think it's not explored as much. क्योंकि
I think through this session, if somebody is watching us, would find the way.
Maybe, yes. I hope they do, and I would really love to see how that turns out. Yeah.
And can it also be used for the rehab centers?
Absolutely. Addiction space में तो बहुत scope है for people who are struggling with substance abuse addictions especially. Hypnotherapy has shown a lot of change. वहाँ पे स्पेशली यूज होता है टू वर्क डायरेक्टली विद द सबकॉन्शियस, बिकॉज आपको कॉन्शियसली तो रियलाइज हो जाता है कि ये चीज़ अच्छी नहीं है मेरे लिए, बट आप नहीं छोड़ पाते हो. बट सबकॉन्शियस में जाके अगर आपकी ब्रेन की रीवायरिंग को थोड़ा सा चेंज कर सकते हैं हम, दैट कैन शो लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ बिहेवियरल चेंज एज वेल.
It is also seen that sometimes we are dealing with our physical ailment. We have different kinds of issues. कभी-कभी हमारी परेशानियाँ, हमारी जो हमारे medical issues होते हैं बहुत जटिल हो जाते हैं. Even though the doctor helps us out in dealing with that physical ailment of ours, still दिमाग में एक बात रहती है कि नहीं ठीक नहीं हो पाऊंगा, नहीं मेरी बीमारी में. और मैं, for example, if somebody has to undergo a surgery, the person feels so नहीं ये सर्जरी तो हो जाएगी पर ठीक नहीं हो पाऊंगा क्योंकि मुझे 50 लोगों ने बोला है कि ये सर्जरी कराने के बाद ना और भी ज़्यादा ख़राब हो जाएगा. सो दिस as you said, hypnotherapy, can it be used there or too?
Of course, because अभी क्या किया ना, आपके दिमाग में किसी ने सजेशन प्लांट कर दिया कि आप करा लो सर्जरी बट आप ठीक नहीं हो पाओगे. Hypnotherapy works the same way. We're planting a good suggestion in your brain that this is going to work, that you can change this, that there is another way to look at this. And अगर आप वो बिलीव करते हो तो आधा प्रॉब्लम तो वहीं सॉल्व हो जाता है. योर बिलीफ सिस्टम डिसाइड्स हाउ योर ब्रेन एंड योर माइंड आर गोइंग टू रिएक्ट टू योर सिचुएशंस, right? So if you can build a healthier belief system for yourself, it can work wonders.
I think we need hypnotherapists all around us because each one of us has the positive as well as the negative zone, and this negative zone is created by us. If we are able to fight with that negative zone, fine. If not, then a small problem becomes the biggest.
Right, yeah.
So each one of us needs to be a hypnotherapist. But I would like to take a session more forward. What are the other options if we talk about the alternate healing?
Outside of this, I think the most common ones that you've heard of is astrology also. वो थोड़ा प्रिडिक्टिव वर्क ज़्यादा हो जाता है बिकॉज whenever you go to astrologer they tell you कि आपका बर्थ चार्ट कैसा है और उसमें क्या है. दैट कैन ऑल्सो बी हीलिंग बिकॉज जब आपको पता हो कि इस एरिया में पॉसिबल प्रॉब्लम्स हैं तो उसको कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. माई फेवरेट आर द एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स. वहाँ पे बहुत साउंड हीलिंग इफ़ यू हर्ड ऑफ, or using movement as healing or using art as healing. So again, processing emotions, developing clarity, all of that happens. There is a lot of those energy based healings like chakra healing, pranic healing. तो वो सब भी exist करते हैं. People really find relief through these healing procedures. Reiki होता है, kundalini होता है, really balancing out your energy systems. People find value in that, and those also exist. Yes.
So as the way the world is moving and way the people are finding scope in each and everything, I feel the alternate therapy is one of the another career option which will have a boom.
Yeah.
It is still persisting, but it will have a boom because each one of us needs alternate therapist.
Absolutely.
Now the question arises when we are talking about all these therapies which are available to us. If somebody really wants to have a career in these particular areas, so do we have some formal degree or certification or diploma courses available?
See, now alternate healing, one of the reasons why it's not so popular is because there are no formalized institutions or formalized courses for all of these types of healing. For yoga, yes, you will definitely have. India mein yoga is considered very, very important. It's where yoga was born. So now we formalized that education. There are universities and colleges that exist that give you a degree in yoga. It's a whole curriculum that is there like any other field of academics. But things like tarot, there's nobody teaching you tarot. There is no university offering a course on tarot reading. मतलब आपको online मिल जाएंगे इधर उधर, but ideally the best place to learn is from an existing practitioner, right? Like for example, I also teach tarot. And the only reason people come to me is because कोई college या university नहीं है सिखाने के लिए, तो वो formalized training नहीं है. Astrology bhi also for the longest time was just passed on from generation to generation. The people, the older people in the family learnt it, then they passed it on to their children. Now the government of India recognizes astrology. There are universities out there, there are colleges out there offering courses in astrology. So that is something you can definitely look at. Expressive arts has become formalized. वो officially psychology के under आता है. So there are universities in India and abroad who offer training in expressive arts, whichever type of expressive arts you want to train into. There are certifications for Reiki also. But again वो formalized नहीं है क्योंकि practitioners ही सिखा रहे हैं. वही अपने नाम का certificate दे रहे हैं. कोई university या organization नहीं है.
We have not developed such a curriculum so that student can learn and get a certification or diploma or something.
So it's morely मतलब एक दूसरे से सीखने वाला है. Mostly alternate healing ऐसे होती है. Hypnotherapy थोड़ी formalized है. Again there are institutes here in India who teach hypnotherapy. There are institutes in abroad who teach hypnotherapy. So hypnotherapy, yoga, astrology के लिए है. Things like tarot, reiki, pranic healing उसके लिए इतना नहीं है. So it's a scope बहुत है, but formalizing these things is taking time.
But the day is not far away.
Is not, because I mean now the fact that we're teaching astrology, एक organization university exist करती है जो एक course आपको offer करे कि जिनको astrology सीखना है वो सीख सकते हैं. So the fact that we're recognizing it, and what is really sad, it's coming from the West. West ने accept किया alternate healing. Alternate healing is huge in the West. They really believe in all of these forms of healing, and they believe that you need this to complement them, right? So they started formalizing it. They were like, okay, we need more healers, we need more people trained in this. And then, of course, we're following, we're realizing, okay, yes, there is importance there.
Yeah, we can say the acceptance is the mother of invention.
Yes.
So when you accept, yes, this is the need of the art, and we'll start, start innovating, yes, we need it. Now, as far as we have discussed a lot about what alternate healing is and what are the different career options available, do we face any kind of challenges, or are there any limitations, or I would say no, still people are reluctant? Why to learn it? Why it is important?
The first and the most common challenge, like we talked about, it's not regulated. It's not formally recognized, a lot of these types of healing in India. So of course, because there's no formal recognition, there's no regulation, people are not sure if this is a good career option. You can't just हमारी understanding ये है कि हमें स्कूल करना है, हमें कॉलेज करना है, हमें मे बी पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करनी है और फिर जाके हम काम करेंगे, राइट? इसका कोई प्रोसेस नहीं है, ना ये स्कूल में फिट होता है, ना ये कॉलेज में फिट होता है. तो जब अगर कुछ डिग्री नहीं मिल रही तो फिर हम उसका करियर कैसे बनाएंगे? एंड दैट इज़ वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट चैलेंजेस दैट इज़ देयर. Other than that, there is also a little bit of skepticism. सारे लोग believe नहीं करते. These are belief-based healing therapies, right? अगर आपको belief है कि ये मुझे help कर सकती है, तो वो help करती है. If you don't believe in it, you would not go for it. There are so many people out there who don't believe in tarot or in astrology, and that's okay. But वही है ना, that also creates a barrier sometimes कि जो लोग believe करते हैं और करना चाहते हैं, वो फिर थोड़ा हिचकिचाते हैं कि लोग मजाक उड़ाएंगे या लोग क्या बोलेंगे. So that also creates a barrier. फिर there are less people who want to become these healers because they're like बहुत stigma fight करना पड़ेगा, बहुत issues आ जाएंगे. And I think the most important thing that creates a challenge is the ethics of it. Like I said, this is a belief-based, trust-based career. Your client is coming to you, placing implicit trust on you, sharing the most deepest, darkest secrets, sharing their vulnerabilities. And we've seen कि इस profession में लोग फ़ायदा बहुत उठा लेते हैं. People get very focused on the financial aspect of it. They want to create more money, and sometimes they don't maintain the boundaries. and they might do something or say something which is harmful for the client, and play on the fears of the client. हम जनरली क्या हो जाता है, हम गॉड फियरिंग लोग हो जाते हैं rather than गॉड रिस्पेक्टिंग और गॉड लविंग, एंड उसका फ़ायदा बहुत उठाया जाता है कि अगर आप ये नहीं करोगे, ऐसे नहीं करोगे तो ऐसा हो जाएगा और ये हो जाएगा, एंड दैट ऑल्सो क्रिएट्स अ बैरियर. दैट इज़ अ चैलेंज टू फाइंड जेन्युइन हीलर्स इन दिस स्पेस जो एक्चुअली आपके बेनिफिट के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, नॉट अगेंस्ट इट.
इट इज़ चैलेंजिंग ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द हीलर टू कि लोग उन पर विश्वास कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं. आप तो लोगों पर अपना विश्वास जता रहे हैं बाय योर गुड वर्क, बाय ऑनेस्टी, बट व्हाई पीपल शुड एक्सेप्ट यू, व्हाई पीपल शुड ट्रस्ट यू दैट यस यू आर द बेस्ट फॉर आउट. सो दिस कैन ऑल्सो बी वन ऑफ द इश्यूज even if you are honest.
Absolutely, because वही ना, one bad apple ruins the entire basket. किसी people are unsure, people don't know. वो तो मतलब they want help but they don't know your credibility. आप किसी भी tarot reader, astrologer के पास तभी जाते हो जब वो recommended होते हैं किसी से. आपको कि आपने किसी से सुना, आपके friend में, family में कोई गया, तो आपका थोड़ा automatic trust वहाँ build हो जाता है. But as a reader who's new, who's just stepped into the career, आप कैसे अपना ट्रस्ट और कैसे अपनी क्रेडिबिलिटी बिल्ड करते हो, वो भी एक चैलेंज है, बिकॉज काफ़ी टाइम लग जाता है.
Because if we talk about astrology alone, if we look backward, people don't carry their certificates. Look, I am Jyotishacharya. Though people used to do Jyotishacharya in earlier times also, and now it has become, of course, different universities and colleges are giving you a chance to do Jyotishacharya. Even people are academically also growing in this particular area. They are doing their PhDs at Jyotishacharya. But there were times when people doesn't have those certificates or something like that. Now, when you are into alternate healing, every time you can't carry your certificates,
right?
Because you don't have this privilege of carrying the certificates.
There is no certificate.
There is no certificate. Only your goodwill, your mouth-to-mouth publicity, or the way you are working will speak out for you.
Right, right.
So this is the biggest challenge.
Yes.
When one has to establish himself or herself, do good work, and you will automatically get the people around you.
It would require a lot of patience being in this career, because you really have to build your goodwill in this. It doesn't come straight just because, you know, it's not like a conventional career where आपने डिग्री की है बीकॉम में तो आपको फाइनेंस में जॉब मिल जाएगी, because already आपका स्किल सेट है. This is something that you have to build over years and years of practice, and you have to continue upskilling, because चीज़ें बदलती रहती हैं इस फील्ड में भी. There is so much new knowledge that keeps coming in, and you have to keep updating yourself. You can't stick to old ways of doing things.
When we do a particular course from a particular university, college, we get a certificate or a degree, and with the help of that, we get a placement in a company or somewhere we wish to work out. But here we don't have any kind of placement. कि आपने अपना certificate दिखाया और एक company ने आपको hire किया, and you are hired there, and you got a job. So it's not a job, it's a kind of a passion. If you have that passion, you can definitely find a way for you, and you can of course solve the people's problem too. So this can be another issue which one has to take into account if he or she is really planning to be into this particular field.
Absolutely. I mean, it also depends on what kind of alternate healing you're picking, right? Like just say expressive arts, yoga, astrology, now these are giving you degrees, so it becomes a little bit easier to pursue them. But other things like pranic healing or reiki or tarot, we're still getting there. So, you know, it's the choice also that you make. So you have to be slightly more resilient in life to be in this space.
Very true. Okay, any of the course if I opt for, and as you said that you are yourself a psychologist, so what should I believe, or what should I think if I am a psychologist and I have done an additional course by adopting any of the alternate course, that would definitely help me out as a professional.
Absolutely, like that's the one reason why I did it, right? Because mental health, I realized very early on कि लोग थेरेपी पे बाद में जाएंगे बट टैरो रीडर के पास पहले आएंगे, एंड दैट इज अनफॉर्चुनेटली द ट्रूथ ऑफ द सोसाइटी दैट वी लिव इन. My job as a professional was that yes, mental health is very, very important. I studied psychology, I have my degrees in psychology, so I can call myself a psychologist. But first I have to spread awareness, I have to break that stigma, and for that to happen I have to get people to understand the value of psychology. And if they choose to come to me as a tarot reader, it's easier for me to spread that information as compared to as a psychologist. And tarot also when I use, I don't do predictive work. मैं ये नहीं बताती कि आपके साथ ऐसा होगा, आपको ये करना चाहिए, आपको वो करना चाहिए. We're doing insight oriented work. कि these are areas you're probably neglecting. This is the obstacle that you're not looking at, or you're getting too stuck in this particular space. What do you want to do here? It's very agency providing, and having alternate healing techniques is great, right? Like I said, when you go to a doctor, they will prescribe you medication, but they will also tell you, आप exercise किया करो, आप अच्छा खाना खाया करो, have a balanced diet, sleep properly. Why are they saying all of these things? For the medication to work, these things also have to be there. And so that's how alternate healing complements regular healing. And it's great if you have a degree in psychology and take up any of the other alternate healing techniques. It would really be helpful because people will trust you more.
Psychology would help you in diagnosing a problem.
Absolutely.
And then the treatment would be alternative healing, whether it be astrology or pranic healing, naturopathy or something like that. If one, so this is the, you know, I would say the master of all. This is the captain of the ship. One
Absolutely,
is psychologist. So this aid would help him. I mean, in becoming the good professional all through. So we have a lot more to learn through you, and we would be discussing more so that the students who might be watching us right now or would be watching us through YouTube, so they would be getting maximum through you. And dear friends, we believe that. Keep watching us, keep writing us. Your feedbacks are very, very important for us. Thank you.